Okay, so we are back. I apologize for all of the interruptions. My camera did not want to work, so we switched to the phone route. I am live streaming from my phone. It should behave better than my computer. But welcome to Crochet Along with Hannah. My name's Hannah. I'm at the Upper Chichester Library. Today we are going to be making a spring basket. Now, this pattern I have available here. You can come pick it up. It does not include the little eggs that are shown in the basket. So we're not going to be doing those today. But if you want to do those in the future, just send a message, say, hey, yeah, I want a tutorial on that, and I'll get one together. But today we're going to do the Spring Easter basket. You can stop by and pick up your kit. It'll come with a crochet hook, a skein of yarn, patterns. I do not have any bright, vibrant, spring-colored yarns. So I recommend getting your own. You can go anywhere, get any acrylic yarn you want. You don't have to buy fancy yarn, just a regular worsted acrylic yarn, whether it be Joann's, Michael's, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, whatever, pick your poison. I am using a mix of Hobby Lobby and Red Heart for this project. Simply because, and then if you don't want to crochet your little eggs, I got these at the dollar store. They're sparkly, they're super cute. Got some of these. Got some little Easter grass that I'm going to fill mine with. And this is where I'm at so far on this one. But we are going to work on one together so that I can show you. And it does lay flat. There are some pipe cleaners in this. I'm going to sturdy this up on camera. It's not exactly sturdied up yet. But that, you know, I'm going to show you how to fix that problem on hand. Because I noticed I had the problem. But that's something I can show you how to fix on camera. So, and as far as other programming, we have our Tuesday morning cafe, which is every other week at Memorial Presbyterian. The next one is April 19th. So, you know, there's guest speakers, coffee, social interaction. It's nice. And Mr. Andrew's there. So, you know, everybody loves Mr. Andrew. So if you want to see Mr. Andrew, go to the Tuesday morning cafe. We have Miss Teresa has her art program tomorrow. It'll be a nice, fun, spring-themed art class with her. So if you want one of those kits, stop by, come pick one up. And I have more fun spring projects coming up that I have scheduled. The next class is going to be April 23rd. The next class, we're going to be doing the little marshmallow bunnies. You know, they're Peep inspired. After that, I have, what's after that? I have a little crochet flower. I don't have the pattern for it in front of me, unfortunately. And then after that one, I have a cute little spring wreath that we're going to be doing. That'll be on May 6th. So stay tuned and come get your patterns, because we got a whole bunch of spring patterns. Hopefully I can get some spring yarn in. But again, all of our yarn is donated through various companies, which is greatly appreciated, but we don't get to pick and choose the colors that are donated. So, but that's okay. So today I'm going to walk you through how to make a basket. I will show you how to crochet the handle. I don't have any pipe cleaners at the library. Actually, I might. I'm going to have to see if I do. And then I'm going to show you how to make these little flowers that you can attach on. You can either glue these on with some fabric glue, or you can crochet them on. I'm going to show you how to crochet them on if you need to. I did not come prepared for battle. I need to go get my darning needle too, apparently. But that's okay. We'll go do that. But let's get started. For this pattern, it does call for worsted weight yarn. And an H hook and some pipe cleaners and some tapestry needles. I only use 2 pipe cleaners. It calls for 3. That might be why mine is so wiggly. But, you know, it's okay. We'll get there. You live, you learn. I'm going to start my skein of yarn in the center. I always do center pull. It keeps it from making a mess. Even though you make a mess sometimes doing the center pull, like I just did. But it's okay. So we are going to get started. Sorry, I'm at the library and we are open for business, so it's a little bit noisy. You're going to make your slip knot. If you can make a hat, you can make this. I'm just saying. We are going to start this out. I was just about to crochet without explaining what I'm doing, and that's not what we do. We're going to make a magic circle. Start like you're going to do a slip knot. Stick your hook through there. Yarn over, pull through, and then just hook that. This is the beginning of our magic circle. And they call it a magic circle because it's adjustable like a lasso. And then you're going to, after you do that, you're going to chain 2. This is just like starting a hat. And you are going to put 8 half double crochets. Well, 7 because that chain 2 counts as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the beginning of that. It's gonna look a little weird. Tighten that up. Pull your drawstring. You want that snug. And you're going to go into the top of your chain 2 and slip stitch that. From there, we're going to chain 2. We're going to start our second round. We're going to go right into the same stitch that we were just slip stitched in, and we are going to put 1 half double crochet in there. Yarn over. In your next stitch, you're going to put 2 half double crochets, and you're going to do that all the way around. You're going to put 2 half double crochets in each stitch, and you're going to end up with a total of 16 stitches. So do that all the way around. I'm going to catch up off camera. Like I said, this is just like making a hat. I'm not gonna go through every single increase row on camera. I don't have the time allotment to do that, so I'm gonna go through a few and essentially just make a mini basket on camera, and then I'm gonna show you how to attach the decorations. The handle is pretty simple. It is just crocheting around pipe cleaners, but I will walk you through that. All right, I have crocheted all the way around. You're gonna have like a little open, but that's okay. You're going to, again, slip stitch that closed. Excuse me, I have to move my pattern so I can go to the next page. Because I've made this, but that doesn't mean I memorized the patterns. I don't. There's just too much in my brain for me to be doing that. Third row 3, we chained 2. It's the beginning of a new row. We're going to work 1 half double crochet in the same stitch that we just slip stitched and chain 2 in. These count as our 2 half double crochets. And then you're going to do 1 single crochet, half double crochet in the next stitch. Then you're going to yarn over and you're going to do 2 half double crochets in the next. You're going to do 1 half double crochet in the next, and you're going to repeat that all the way around. 2 double crochets in 1 stitch, 1 half double, excuse me, I can't talk today. You're going to do 2 half double crochets in 1 stitch, and the next one you're going to do 1 half double crochet, and then you're going to repeat that 2 then 1, 2 then 1, all the way around. And that should give you a total of 24 stitches. So just pay attention where you've put 2 stitches, where you put 1. Everything is increasing by increments of the last row doubled from 8 to 16, and now we're going from I lied. I can't count today, don't mind me. Yeah, we went from 8 to 16 stitches, then we're going to go from 16 to 24, so we're increasing by increments of 8. And I'm going to go off camera and finish my row because it's quicker when I do that than holding my arms up in the air. Apologize for being quiet, just trying to be quick. It has been a while since I hosted one of these, but we are back, we are crafting. It feels good to be back. Thanks for joining me. Okay, I finished that. Again, we are going to go into the top of the chain 2. We're going to slip stitch in there and chain up. We're going to chain 2. Chain 2 at the beginning of each row. That counts as your first half double crochet. I have papers catching on my yarn. And that is row number 3. Again, you should have 24 stitches all the way around. We're going to move on to row number 4. At the end of this row, you will have 32 stitches. So again, we're increasing by 8. You are going to yarn over. We're going to half double crochet in the same stitch as our slip stitch and chain 2. that counts as your first 2 half double crochets, and you are going to single crochet, put 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and the next stitch we're going to put 2. So this is 2 half double crochets in 1 stitch, and then 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So it's 1 and 2. One, you know. Okay. It takes up a total of 3 stitches because you're putting 2 stitches in 1. So this is 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochet in 1 stitch, and the next 2 stitches you put 1 half double crochet in each stitch, and you're going to repeat that all the way around.
What if they say there's a turn?
2 here, 1 half double crochet in this stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next stitch, 2 half double crochets in the following, 1, 2. This is just like making a hat. 2 single half double crochets, 1 in that stitch, 1 in the next stitch, 2 in the next, 1, 2 in there, and then 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets in the next, 1, 2, 1 in the next one, 1 in the next one, 2 in the next one, that's 1, that's 2, and then 1 in the next one, 1 in the next one, and that should be our 24, because you start with, and then you slip stitch, chain 2, and then we're going to move on. Count your stitches before you go on to the next row. Make sure you have a total of 32 stitches. This is the inside of the basket, by the way. That's why we will sew this in. We are going to start row 5. At the end of this row, you will have 40 stitches. This row, we yarn over, we half double crochet in the same stitch as our slip stitch and chain 2. We're going to yarn over, and we are going to put 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, go to the next stitch, that's 1 stitch in there, go to the next stitch, 1 stitch in there, and that's our sequence. So we do 2 half double crochets in the next one, 1, 2, we're gonna put 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches, that was 1. We're gonna move and put 1 in the next one, and we're gonna move 1 stitch over and do 1 in the next one, and then 2. 1 and 2 in the same stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches, So that's 1 half double crochet, move to the next stitch, 1 half double crochet, move to the next stitch, 1 half double crochet, 2 in this stitch, so that's 1, 2 in the same stitch, 1 in the next stitch, 1 in the next stitch, 1 in the next stitch, if my yarn cooperates, there we go, 2 in the next, 1, 2, 1 in the next, 1 in the next, 1 in the next, that's the 3. We're gonna do 2 in the next, 1, 2, 1 in the next 3, so that's 1, 1, 1, and then 2 in the next, so we're gonna do 1, and we're going right into the same stitch for the second one. Yarn over, move over, 1 in the next, 1 in the next, 1 in the next, 2 in the next, 1, 2, 2 in the next, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, and that should leave us with a total of 30, what were we on? 40 stitches, excuse me. So I'm gonna count mine real quick. I always do, even though I've been doing this a while. I still go back and count, and I should have lined up. Yeah, I have 40 stitches all the way around. We have 3 more rows of increasing to do. However, it is 11:30, and if I'm gonna get through with the rest of this tutorial, I've got to start my increase rows. So you still have rows 6, 7, and 8 you need to increase, which will make the diameter of the bottom, this should be about 6 inches. Measure it. This is probably about 4 right now, but that's fine. And then we're gonna move to the part where we're gonna go up. I am not doing any more increase rows because I've got to get through the rest of this. So I am going to go ahead and I am going to skip through to row 8, the instructions for that. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna go in the back loops only. See if I can show you this. But I have slip stitched. I am going to chain 2. Just because we're doing half doubles, I'm gonna yarn over. I am going to put my hook into the back loop only. I am going right in here and I don't have both loops, I just have one, I am going to half double crochet into that. You're going to do that all the way around, just the back loop of the top of your stitch. And we're going to put one half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. Oop, that was a single crochet. It's easy to mix them up. Make sure you're doing half double crochets. Half double crochet is literally the same concept as a single, except for you're going to yarn over before you go into your stitch. When you yarn into your stitch, you're going to yarn over again. You're going to pull through. You'll have 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through all 3 of those. That is your half double. So back loop all the way around with your half double crochets. It kind of gives it a little bit of a brim. And you're going to do this all the way around. Let me go off camera so I can finish mine real quick. And you're gonna have to excuse me after I do the next row because I have to go get my darning needle. I didn't think to grab one, because I don't usually show appliques. I'm gonna show you how to make a flower. And then I will show you how to attach them. I have 2 made already. I have 1 sewn on. So I am going to show you how to make one, and then I'm going to show you how to. So as soon as I can finish this crochet hook is not my normal hook. I usually use a metal one. This bamboo one is slowing me down just a little. Bamboo hooks are great for beginners. They create a little bit more of a grip with the yarn. So if you're having trouble with fiddly yarn slipping off your hook, get a bamboo one. It slows it down a little, which is good for a beginner. But when you're I realized I've been crocheting for longer than I thought. And it was recently brought to my attention that I'm a very quick crocheter. But these tutorials do slow me down significantly. I don't realize how fast I go until I realize I've got to slow down for a live stream. And, you know, I don't equate for that when I am doing time slots for my tutorials, so it tends to take me longer than I know it usually does because I've slowed down quite a bit so I can demonstrate. Those teddy bears, the Valentine's Day ones, I can probably do one start to finish in a couple of hours. I could not get that done on my live stream, and I apologize. And I know I promised to film the rest of it, and I will, but I had some stuff I had to take care of. I was out for about a month and a half, so I apologize for that. That was unexpectedly preempted by some life stuff. We are back. All right, all the way around. So I am going to, again, slip stitch. And then after this, you're going to do rows 9 through 16. Just 1 half double crochet all the way around in every stitch. one half, not back loop, just regular half double crochet all the way around. It'll start to fold up. It's gonna look like a little hat. When you get through row 16, you can go ahead and fasten off your yarn, weave in your ends like I did. Now I am gonna go grab a darning needle. I will be right back, and a pair of scissors. Excuse me.
Oh, good.
Not done. I just forgot stuff. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry, I just forgot to grab it. It's been a busy morning in the Upper Chichester Library. We are back in full swing. Please stop by. Okay, so now to show you how to do these flowers. They are quite simple. They are page 3 of the pattern. I had a brain don't know what it's doing moment. I'm gonna start with the same yarn that I was just crocheting that out of. Normally I wouldn't do the same, but I am putting it on my purple one. And then I'm gonna show you how to sew it on there and weave in your ends. This one was already made. I made this one and attached it already. So we're gonna go ahead and make another one just like this. And you start with your base color. You don't have to switch colors at all to make the whole flower. If I switched just to give it some dimension and some contrast with the basket, you can make the flower all one color. Find a good color that contrasts against your blanket. I'm so used to doing blankets and hats. Your basket. I used a good aqua with a hot pink, and then it was pink with aqua. It'll still pop, and then I'm gonna put the third one down here. These are gonna go, you know. You don't have to follow the arrangement that's on the pattern. You can do this however you want. You don't like these flowers? Find a different pattern. There are so many different flower patterns. Puff stitch flowers would look really cute. I do have a good packet. This has a bunch of different flower patterns in it that you could use. If you want a copy of that, stop by. I'll give you a copy of that too. But the pattern for the flowers that it calls for, they are in here. So this is the layered flower. You're gonna start, it calls for a magic ring. I feel like that's fiddly. I chain 3, and then I slip stitch into that first chain, and then I chain 1. So that creates like a circle. And then you are going to not count that as a stitch. Your chain 1 is not a stitch. You're going to put 10 single crochets in that circle. 2, 3, hold your tail down and crochet over that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then you're going to pull that tight, and you are going to slip stitch in the top of your chain, and you're going to chain 1. And then for row 2 of this, we are going to single crochet in the same space as our chain 1, because remember, in this pattern the chain 1 does not count as a stitch, so this is our first stitch in this round. You're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then you're going to skip a stitch. So we're not going to go into the one next to us, but we're going to go into the one after that, and you're going to put 1 single crochet, and then you're going to chain 1, you're going to skip a stitch, and then you're going to put, well, we chain 2, and then we skip a stitch and go into the next stitch and single crochet, chain 2, 1, 2, skip a stitch, go into the one next to it, it's 1 single crochet. When you get done with this, you're going to have a total of 5 chain 2 spaces, because we're going to crochet, chain 2, skip a stitch, go into the one after that, and single crochet into that. You're going to have a total of 5 chain 2 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, do that one more time, skip a stitch. If there's no stitch to skip, then just stitch into that last chain to that last stitch, it's fine. So we've got 5 chain 2 spaces. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain 2 spaces. That's what we need for this round. Again, slip stitch into the top of that first single crochet. You're gonna have 5 chain 2 spaces again. So I'm going to move this over because I need my next page. You are going to, from here, you're not going to chain up. We are going to work in our first chain 2 space. We are going to put 2 half double crochets in that chain 2 space. So 1, 2. In the same chain 2 space, we are going to put 3 half double crochets. So we're going to yarn over, go into our chain 2 space, pull up a loop. We have 3 hoops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to do that 2 more times. Make a total of 3 double crochets in that chain 2 space. And in the same chain 2 space, again, we're going to put 2 more half double crochets. This is our first flower petal. Now, we're not done yet. We're going to put 1 single crochet in the top of the single crochet next to that chain 2 space we just worked in. So 1 single crochet in there, and then we're going to go put the same petal pattern in the next chain 2 space. So 2 half double crochets, 1, 2, then we're going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. We are going to do 2 more half double crochets in the same chain 2 space we were just working in. 1, 2. That finishes that off, so I am going to put 1 single crochet in the top of the single crochet next to that chain 2 space. That was our second petal. So we're going to go to the next chain 2 space and put 2 half double crochets, 1, 2. We're going to do 3 half double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 2 half double crochets, 1, 2. That's the end of that petal. So we're going to single crochet in the top of the single crochet next to that chain 2 space we just worked in. That kind of solidifies your petal. That's 3 out of the 5 petals that we're going to do. So I'm going to go to the next chain 2 space and create another petal. So that's 2 half double crochets in that chain 2 space. Same chain 2 space, we're going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 half double crochets to finish that chain 2 space off. Then I'm going to single crochet in the top of the single crochet next to the chain 2 space we just finished working in, and I'm going to do my last petal in that last chain 2 space. So 2 half double crochets, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 2 half double crochets, 1, 2, and I'm going to single crochet in the top of that single crochet next to the chain 2 we just worked in. This actually, no, this is the, if you just want to do this, that's fine. It'll look cute on the basket regardless. If you want to do the layered flower, do not do that last slip stitch single crochet. Leave it open. If you're changing colors, this is where you do it. I'm gonna grab my turquoise as it makes a mess all over the place. This is, again, this is my personal stash. I don't have these colors to distribute, unfortunately, but you know, you can pick it up Michael's, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, Walmart. There is a Hobby Lobby in Springfield now, so you know. This is how I go about my color changes. I just make a slip knot with a new color. And I'll pull this down and I will just work it through just like it's a stitch. And then I will not tie this, cut this one off. Normally I make flat knots if I'm doing a blanket, but the flowers are a little bit forgiving because you're gonna sew them down. So I just I changed my color. And before I do my next stitch, I'm gonna tie that down. And now I am ready. I am going to work the second layer into the skip. We skipped stitches making our chain 2 spaces. I am gonna work this row into those skipped stitches. So you're gonna bring your hook in and you're just going to do the last round. Our petals were 2 half double crochets, 3 double, 2 half double. In this round, it's a smaller part. So we're just gonna do 1 half double crochet. Then you're gonna yarn over and you're gonna do the 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then you're gonna do 1 half double crochet. We're not gonna single crochet it down. We're just gonna go right into the next skipped. That was the first one. We're gonna move over and we're gonna go right into this skipped stitch from the next chain 2 space. And we are going to work 1 half double crochet, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3 in the same stitch. And then we're going to finish that petal off by putting one more half double crochet in that same stitch. Again, we are not going to slip stitch that down. We are going to right into that next. I'm going to yarn over and right into the next, like underneath your chain 2 with that last petal. That's that skipped single crochet from the previous. And you're going to put 1 half double crochet in that. Then your 3 double crochets. Then one more double crochet. And then I'm going to put 1 more half double crochet into that stitch to finish that petal off. And in the next skipped stitch, we are going to do 1 half double crochet, 3 double crochet, these are really cute, really fun, really easy flowers to do. And if you really want to do something fancy, then you can go get some pipe cleaners and make a dozen of these and put some stems on them and have a cute little vase of crocheted flowers. So we have our 1 half double crochet, 1, 2, 3 double crochet and 1 half double crochet in that petal. Go to the next. This will be the last of our skipped stitches. We've done 4 petals already. We're going to do the last one. We're going to half double crochet into that skipped space. Just kind of fold your flower down so you can work in it easier. put your half double crochet. You're gonna work 3 double crochet in that stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to put 1 half double crochet in that. And to finish this off, we are going to join into the top of our first half double crochet of this round. We're going to slip stitch into that, and then we are going to tie that off. Cut your tail long enough so that you can weave it in. And I use this back, cut this longer than I did, because this is what you're going to use to sew that onto your bag. I'm going to grab another piece of yarn to sew mine on. It should have been longer like I did with this one, but it's not, but that's okay, because it doesn't matter. These are our flowers. They literally took no time to do. And then what you want to do, I already placed the one. You kind of want to, and remember you have that brim, push that brim, like when you're arranging your flower, set it so that you know your placement. If you want your flowers smaller, get DK weight yarn and a 3mm hook and make your flowers that way. This is worsted weight. I always get the hiccups. I'm sorry. I already attached that first flower, so what I am gonna do now is show you how to hide those ends a little bit. You've got your flower on. You want to get rid of your ends. You're going to thread your darning needle, and you're just going to weave in and out, whatever color yarn this was, weave in and out of those, top of those stitches. Just keep doing that. Back, forth. It'll hide it. You don't have to know how to sew to do this, trust me. You're just feeding it through the top of your stitches. And then you knot it off in one of your chain one spaces, or your single crochet spaces. Just knot it off a little bit. Snip off your ends, and that hides it in the petal. You do the same thing if you switched color. Do the same thing with the other color. Weave it into the matching color a few times, and then trim it off after you've knotted it. This is why you can also pull it through. You don't need a darning needle. You can pull it through with your crochet hook. That's what I normally do. So I don't worry about how long. You obviously don't want your end so short that it's going to unravel. And weaving it through and tying it down kind of helps it, especially if a child is going to get a hold of that project. You want to make sure your ends are sturdy. And if you want to fabric glue your ends down, you can just put it on a little Q-tip and then brush over your end. It'll secure it a little better. Again, especially if you're going to give it to a child. And then you just trim off your loose ends, and that hides your ends. They are no longer there. And the way I sew mine through, you're not going to see it on the back. You can fabric glue these down too, but it's sturdier when you stitch it. If you want to stitch it and then take some fabric glue to the back, again with a Q-tip or a paintbrush, and then just kind of brush over it. It'll give it a little bit more stability. You can go get whatever craft glue, fabric glue you want, because this is acrylic yarn, cotton yarn. You're going to want fabric glue. Otherwise, you're going to have it. It's going to feel weird. It's not going to feel good. I have texture issues. I don't know who else has texture issues. I have texture issues. So what I'm going to do, because I didn't make my ends long enough to be able to show you how to do this, I am going to do this sewing style. I am going to extend my little I'm just going to tie this in like I would tie in a new skein of yarn. Give me a second. If you cut your tail long enough, you won't have to worry about splicing. I am splicing because I did not think things through, which happens, but we are going to tie a little flat knot and trim that off. And then we're going to sew. Do that little tug. Flatten it down. I am going to sew this flower on now. So you're going to get your placement wherever you want to place it. I kind of want it about there. I'm going to hold that down, but I'm going to peek at the back. And I'm going to loop this through the back side of one of my stitches. I can pull this off because it's not attached real quick. I'm going to loop my hook through here. Sorry, I had someone coming through. I'm going to pull this yarn through a little bit. I'm going to get my bag where I want this flower to sit, right about here. I'm going to find a corresponding spot in the yarn, and I'm going to go through the front of that stitch. It's not going to go all the way through. It's not going to be visible through the back of the bag, and I'm just going to feed that through. Get my other tails out of the way, and I'm going to kind of pull that towards the project, because you want to get it nice and tight. And then we're just going to go, it's kind of like it's just whip stitching it on, but we're concealing where it's being sewn in at. And then you just match that up. So you slide one into the front of the work and one into the back of the stitch of the flower. You don't want to poke it through. That's why I like the layered flowers. It gives you room to sew in, and it'll hide it behind that second set of petals. And we are just going to do that in a circle into your project. Yarn it through. You can see it's feeding through the purple. And then I'm going to go through another pink post on my flower. I'm going to pull that through, and it's going to sandwich itself down. I'm caught on a petal. Pull that through, pull it nice and tight, and we are almost done. I've got a few more stitches, and then I got to hide my sins, which is no big deal. I'm going to pull through another purple where I want that to fasten to next. Pull that. Go through another pink. Going to go a little bit stuck because this is the end of it, so I always get caught up. But that is quite all right. I've got to give this a little tug. because my yarn is stuck. It doesn't want to do. The pull through thing, but that is perfectly fine. All right, so going to finish off camera because I've shown you how to loop that through, and it would be a lot easier for me to get this done if I'm not holding it up in the air. Loop this through here and then feed it through here, and then we go through the purple and through the pink. Really is a lot quicker when it's not up in the air. So our little flower is now hooked. I am gonna knot my sew in. Securely. I usually double knot it. That's what I'm doing. Always double knot it. If you want to tack some fabric glue on top of that knot, feel free to do so. I am going to weave my tail into, since I'm already attached to a darning needle, I am just going to weave this end in now, pull it through, and snip that off. So I have weaved in the end. I did not trim that far enough, excuse me. I have disconnected, and now I can weave in ends. Like I showed you. Snip those off. Again, if you want to tack some fabric glue, you can, but that is flower number 2. You don't have to follow the placement that they did on the pattern. Make it your own. If you don't want to use flowers, you can use stars. Any type of applique pattern you find, you can put on this basket. You could, you know, there's little dinosaur ones, there's bumblebee ones, there's all different kinds. I do have this one last flower to sew on, but I am out of time. I will have this basket completed. I'm going to show you how to fill it real quick. It does sit flat on a table once you arrange things properly. You can fill it with, hello, I seen you pop in. You can fill it with basic little whatever you want. I got this Easter grass from the dollar store. I'm not a fan of the Easter grass, but I don't really like the texture. All right, so I got my Easter grass in there. It's kind of Poking out, arrange it however you want to. I don't like the texture of it, so I'm gonna stop touching it. Get yourself some eggs. You can put some treats. I'm just going to arrange eggs that are of a contrasting color in there. I probably got a little bit too much Easter grass. We're gonna remedy that. I hate this stuff. I really don't like this stuff. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only crafter that hates this stuff. It's cute, it's nice. We're gonna give it a haircut. Always supervise children around flowers or scissors, you know. Flowers too. Nothing to do with this tutorial. PSA, it is Easter time. There is going to be lilies everywhere. If you have a pet, keep your pet away from the lilies. They are toxic. You're welcome. Now that we have trimmed off some of that god-awful Easter grass, again, I'm going to fill the basket with contrasting colored eggs. I think these are so much cuter than just crochet. I mean, the crochet eggs are really cute, but if you're gonna give this as a gift, you're gonna end up going out to get these little fillable eggs. Like these glitter ones are fillable too. I got these at the dollar store. This whole project, start to finish, probably cost about the yarn, 3 different colors of yarn that I used with this, plus the Easter grass was $1, the eggs were $1 a pack, so you're probably looking at maybe $8. Not even, because you can probably get about 6 or 7 of these baskets out of those 3 skeins of yarn. So, you know, and then you just decorate it with the eggs. You could put little treats in there. I know some of the grass is supposed to be visible, so it just, whatever you got left over, just arrange it around so that it's a little bit visible, but, you know, like so. Stuff arranged, put bows, toys, whatever you want. My handles are a little floppy. I should probably, you could just whip stitch that with your crochet hook, single slip stitch even, to make it a little sturdier. Or if you have to, take another pipe cleaner and put another row of pipe cleaners in. I only used 2, it called for 3. I was being lazy, I'm not gonna lie. But this is our project for today, from start to finish. Almost finished. I have one more flower to put on there, but you get the gist. It is cute. It's easy to do. I have the pattern here if you want to stop by and grab one. I will be glad to give you a copy. Thank you so much for joining me today. This was fun. I cannot wait to do our marshmallow bunnies next. They would make a great addition to this basket. I'm just saying, if you know, crocheted a couple of little marshmallow bunnies and stuck them in the basket, it's adorable. That program is in 2 weeks from now. That would be on the 23rd of April. Tune back in and we will have our marshmallow bunnies tutorial for you. Thank you and have a beautiful day. It's nice to go for a walk.